Welcome to Greek Verse Today. Today we're translating Revelation 1:11. You're working from your Reader's Edition. I'm working from the screen and jumping in to help you. Let's start out with a slow reading, get a little faster reading, and then send you off on your own for a minute or two. Leguses ha blepes gropson eis biblion kai pimpson tais hepta ecclesiais. Eis Epheson, kai eis Smyrnan, kai eis Pergamon, kai eis Thyatira, kai eis Sardes, kai eis Philadelphion, kai eis Laodiceon. One more time, a little bit faster here. Leguses ha blepes gropson eis biblion, kai pimpson tais hepta ecclesiais, eis Epheson, kai eis Smyrnon, kai eis Pergamon, kai eis Thyatira, kai eis Sardes, kai eis Philadelphion, kai eis Laodiceon. So, let's go ahead and go to our next slide here and let you go to see what you can make of this yourself. So remember what we're picking up in the previous context. John had just heard a great voice behind him, a great voice as of a trumpet or likened to a trumpet. And so what's going to happen next is we're going to figure out what it is that great voice is communicating. So go ahead and pause and spend a minute or two on your own working from your Reader's Edition. All right, so the first thing we have here is a participle. This is a present active participle. It is genitive, feminine, and singular from the verb lego, which means to speak. So it's going to be modifying something that, or it's going to be matching something that comes in the previous context. And this is a little bit tricky because it's going with the great voice, which if you look back in your Reader's Edition at verse 10, you'll see that the great voice is phonein megalane. I'll write that down here so we can see it. Phonein megalane. And this is in the accusative case. The great voice is in the accusative case. So technically speaking, grammatically speaking, leguses should actually be, should match this. It should match the phonein megalane in the accusative case, but it's in the genitive case. And the reason for that is because of the last word in verse 10, which is salpingos. I'm not going to write this one down, but if you look back in your Greek, Reader's Edition, salpingos is a genitive feminine singular. And what has happened is that the participle has undergone what's called attraction, that the word closest to it has sort of forced it into the genitive rather than the accusative. So this happens often, especially in a text like Revelation, where we'd expect one case, but the participle undergoes attraction and attracts to the case that is of the word that is closest to it. In this case, salpingos, which is genitive feminine singular. So nonetheless, it is still the voice that is saying. So this is a participle that is telling us what that voice John hears behind him is saying. So saying, ha blepes gropson eis biblion kai pimpson. So here we have two different imperative verbs that are going to be parsed exactly the same way. These are both aorist active imperatives, second person singular. This one is from Grapho, I write. This one from Pimpo, I send. So as a command, write and send. So what is being written is this prepositional phrase right here. This is a relative, not prepositional phrase, relative phrase. Ha blepes. So notice that rough breathing mark here with the accent indicates that we have a relative pronoun. Remember, rough breathing mark, relative pronoun. We're going to translate that who, which, or what. In this case, this is going to be an accusative neuter singular relative pronoun. So what you see. So here again, we have an indicative verb with blepes, a present active indicative, second person singular. And it's the object of what is seen is the relative pronoun right here. So write what you see, eis biblion, in a book or a document, and send, and sort of the biblion here is assumed over here as well. It is the object of both it's the object of both the preposition eis and the verb send. So write in a book and send the book. Tais hepta ecclesiais, to the 7 churches. And so remember, hepta here, we've seen this several times in Revelation now. This is an indeclinable number. That is to say, it's not going to change its form to match, to look like the dative feminine plural here, even though it is, if we were to give this parsing information, we would say it is dative feminine plural. It just hasn't changed its form. To the 7 churches. And then John's going to name each of the 7 churches. To Epheson, so send it to Ephesus, and Smyrna, and Pergamum, and Thyatira, and Sardis, and Philadelphia, and Laodicea. So to put it all together, we have saying, the voice from behind John, the great voice, is saying, write what you see in a document and send it to the 7 churches, in Ephesus, and in Smyrna, and in Pergamon, and in Thyatira, and in Sardis, and in Philadelphia, and in Laodicea.